Good morning, students. Welcome to the session. Today, let's discuss the fourth poem, Lochinvar. Dear students, listen carefully. Today in this session, we are going to discuss a 10th standard fourth poem, Lochinvar. Okay, this is the first session. Let us start first about the poet, that is Lochinvar. The poem is written by Sir Walter Scott. Sir Walter Scott, the poet. Let's have a note on the poet before going to discuss detail regarding this poem. So, Sir Walter Scott was born on 1771 and died on 1832. So, the period of the poet is 1771 to 1832. 1832. Was an excellent storyteller both in prose and in verse. She was a storyteller and also was famous in writing prose and also of the verse. Verse means the poems, the songs. Okay. In this popular ballad, so this poem, Lochinvar, is a ballad. It is going to be narrating a story, so ballad. So where this tells us how in olden days brave young men in Scotland possessed the necessary dash and pluck to do extraordinary things. So this poem is a ballad. So in which a story is going to be narrating of those young men of Scotland of those days where they are going to do extraordinary things. His narrative poems fascinate the reader by their gripping action, stirring measure, and imaginative appeal. So, his narrative poems, so Walter Scott's narrative poems fascinate the reader by their gripping action. Most of all, his poems are meant to action, and it is going to be stirring measure. So on that action, it is going on the story, and which is also imaginative appeal. So on the same way, we are going to imagine the situation and circumstances what the poet is going to be saying. So let's have a pre-reading activity. So before going to study the stanzas of the poem, let's have a glance on the pre-reading activity. So it is given, children, love and courage go together. So very interesting subject, I think, for you people. So love and courage go together. Do you agree? It is the question. It is given in the pre-reading activity. As we have heard and seen some of the stories, that is of Romeo and Juliet, and Laila and Majnun, and so many of love stories where we have heard and we have seen in films. That is, there is no doubt that is where there is the love, there we are going to see courage. So the lovers, especially, is having such a courage that they are not going to listen to anybody, especially of parents and of the friends. They are not listening to anyone, so they are firm in their decisions, in their love. So we can say that as a courage. If it is a good, it is good. But sometimes if it goes wrong, that your life is going to be spoiled. So keep it in mind that is not going following the love. So but what we have seen that love and courage go together, no doubt. So what we have heard, what we have seen in some of the stories, it is somewhat 50-50, some agree, some will not agree. So okay, let's see how this love and courage, these two concepts have expressed in this poem Lochinvar. Okay, so in this poem, Lochinvar, we are going to see kind love, that is true love, with that of young Lochinvar, with that of lover, and also of the courage, how he takes the lover from her wedding hall. That is also considered here as a courage. So we discuss that when we are going to discuss the particular stanzas. Okay, let me say the summary of this poem before going to start the stanzas. So summary of this Lochinvar poem. The poem is a ballad, as I said, is a ballad which describes the gallant act of Lochinvar. Gallant means the brave man, that is Lochinvar, that is the hero of the poem, that is Lochinvar. A handsome, brave young knight of taking away his love, fair Ellen from her wedding. So Lochinvar and Ellen. So Lochinvar is the hero, and where his lover is Ellen. So Lochinvar and Ellen. These are the two characters that is we are going to discuss in Lochinvar and Ellen. Ellen. So Lochinvar, a promising knight of Highlands, comes riding through the wide border of the west on his fantastic horse, with only a sword to defend himself. He rides to meet the girl he loves, and is faithful in love and dauntless in war. He does not stop for even a second, and no obstacles could stop his journey. As he enters boldly the nearby hall, as he enters boldly nearby hall, filled with kinsmen, brothers, and bride's father asks him if he has come in peace or to fight. He says that he had owed his daughter for a long time, but he has come to wish the bride and dance at her wedding. He also says that there are maidens in Scotland who are lovelier than Ellen and who would gladly want to become his bride. So Lochinvar drinks a goblet of wine from Ellen and takes her hand and says that let us dance. So while Ellen's father fret and fume, and the bridegroom stands holding his bonnet and plume, Lochinvar and Ellen dance so beautifully that her cousins whisper that it would have been better if Ellen had married Lochinvar. Lochinvar and Ellen dance towards the floor, towards the door, and with a quick word in her ear, he swings her on the saddle of his steed and rides away with her, saying that she has been won by him. So all the clans of the bride side pursue Lochinvar, but could never see the couple as they had escaped. It's just of a story where Lochinvar, the lover, is going to be entering the wedding hall, where his lover is going to be married to other person by force by the influence of her father. So to that wedding hall, that is Lochinvar enters and takes his lover, that is Ellen. That is a story, and whereas it is of love and courage. So this is the story, that is the summary of the poem. Let's have a glance on the stanzas of the poem. First I am going to read the poem, later onwards we will discuss the poem one by one. Okay children, listen carefully. If you have a textbook, now open the textbook and follow the lines. And listen, this Lochinvar poem the first four stanzas you have to memorize. So four stanzas you have to memorize, and it is very important. And there will be one stanza will be there for your annual examination. So in the previous one, the vachana, that is the temple and the body, you have to memorize. After this, that is the Lochinvar, you have to memorize the four stanzas. So listen carefully. I am going to read the stanzas. O young Lochinvar is come out of the west, through all the wide border his stead was the best. And save his good broadsword, he weapons had none. He rode all unarmed and he rode all alone. So faithful in love and so dauntless in war, there never was knight like the young Lochinvar. He stayed not for break, and he stopped not for stone. He swam the Esk river, where ford there was none. But ere he alighted at Netherby gate, the bride had consented, the gallant came late. For a laggard in love and dastard in war was to wed the fair Ellen of brave Lochinvar. So boldly he entered the Netherby hall, among bridesmen and kinsmen and brothers and all. Then spoke the bride's father, his hand on his sword. For the poor craven bridegroom said never a word. Oh, come in peace here, or come in war, or to dance at our bridal young Lord Lochinvar. I long wooed your daughter, my suit you denied. Love swears like the soul way, but yes, it like its tide, and now am I come with this lost love of mine. To lead but one measure, drink one cup of wine. There are maidens in Scotland more lovely by far, that would gladly be bride to the young Lochinvar. The bride kissed the goblet, the knight took it up, he quaffed off the wine, and he threw down the cup. She looked down to blush, and she looked up to sigh, with a smile on her lips, and she looked up, and a tear in her eye. He took her soft hand, ere her mother could bar. Now tread we measure, said Lochinvar. So stately is the form, and so lovely her face, that never a hall such a gallard did grace. While her mother did fret, and her father did fume, and the bridegroom stood dangling his bonnet and plume, and the bride maidens whispered, 'Twere better by far to have matched our fair cousin with a young Lochinvar. One touch to her hand, and one word in her ear, when they reached the hall door, and the charger stood near, so light to the croup the fair lady he sprung. So light to saddle before her he sprung. She is one, we are gone, over bank, burst and score. They will have fleet streets that follow, quoth young Lochinvar. There was mounting mock games of the Netherby glen, Fosters, Fenwicks, Musgraves, they rode and they ran. There was racing and chasing on Cannobili, but the lost bride of Netherby never did they see, so daring in love and so dauntless in war. Have you ever heard of gallant like a young Lochinvar? So this is about the stanzas, the lines of the poem. Let's have a discussion of the one by one line, that is the stanzas. So I write down word. Now listen carefully, children, then it will be very easy for you. Go and Lochinvar is done. Lochinvar is done. Sorry. Poem Lochinvar is come. He is come out of the west. He is come out of He weapons had none. He rode all unarmed, and he rode all alone, and he rode all alone. So faithful in love, so faithful in love, and so dauntless in war. There never was night like the young Lochinvar. So this is the first stanza, children. So let's have a look on this. O young Lochinvar is come out of the west, through all the wide border. His speed was the best, and save his good broadsword. He weapons had none. He rode all unarmed, and he rode all alone. So faithful in love, and so dauntless in war. There never was night like the young Lochinvar. As I told that young Lochinvar, the hero of the story, that is come out of the west. Is come out of the west means it is through all the wide border. So through all the wide border, it is here border between England and Scotland. So border means between border. It is border means take down. So border here means between England and Scotland. Border means between England and Scotland. Between England and Scotland. Okay. So where from that border of England and Scotland, he came, young Lochinvar all alone. From the west he came through this border. His steed was the best. His steed was the best. That means the appearance of the Lochinvar was the best ever mentioned in this story. That is, and save his good broadsword, he weapons had none. So he has only one broadsword. It is a battle sword with a broad double-edged blade. That is, he has only one sword that he has come up with that broadsword. What is the meaning of broadsword? It is given in Lazarus. That is, broadsword means broadsword, broadsword. It is a battle sword, with a broad double-edged blade. So with only that sword, double-edged sword, he came to that particular place from that border, that is of Scotland, England and Scotland. He weapons had none. He rode all unarmed, and he rode all alone. So with only that sword, he came to that place with unarmed. No one is there with him, and alone from west. He came to a particular area all alone. That is shows how his courageousness is going to be approaching towards that lover, that is Ellen. So faithful in love, and also the true love. He is having a true love with that of Ellen. So with that of love, the faithful in love with so much of courage, and so dauntless you are. Dauntless. So dauntless means fearless man. So dauntless means fearless. D-A-U-N-T-L-E-S. Dauntless means fearless. He never feared of the people of Ellen's father and brothers. So without any fearness. Without any fearness means so bravely, so courageously, with so much of faith, full in love, he came to the particular place where the marriage is going to be arranged by the father of Ellen, and where Ellen was going to be married to the other person by forcefully. So he came to that particular place with only the sword and without any supporting man. It is all alone with unarmed he came. There never was a knight like the young Lochinvar. So such a brave man, such a man of a high social position. That is a knight here means a man of a high social position, trained to fight as a soldier on a horse. So knight here mentioned. What is the meaning of knight? K-N-I-G-S-T, knight. See, a knight means a man of a high social position, trained to fight, as a soldier on a horse. So knight. So there was never like that of a young Lochinvar, a knight. It is a man high social position, trained to fight as a soldier on a horse. So with so much of courage, young Lochinvar entered all alone to take the lover, that is his lover, Ellen. So we'll stop here to this first stanza. And this first stanza, this is the first stanza. Remember that is you have to memorize this lines. Okay, these lines. Discuss the remaining stanzas in the next period. Thank you, children.